Should paternity testing be required at birth? Let me know in the comments. I think it 100% should, and I think if your girl doesn't want to do it, she's just insecure. I got a banger from men only. Let's get straight into it.
This double standard in child support is that men that don't pay are looking at jail time, possible unemployment, their license being taken away, tax return interception, they could be liable, there could be a lien on their assets. Meanwhile, there's little to no consequence to the women that don't pay child support.
Facts, bro.
But get this, the women could also request to have her attorney's fees paid by him, so he's paying for both attorney's fees for a custody battle that he shouldn't have to fight in the first place. So the only goal of these women is to drain them dry until they are bleeding. And then when these men either get a promotion or a better paying job or have to get 3 jobs, which takes away from either their parenting time or just to maintain their own standard of living, they're going to be considered a deadbeat, or they're not doing enough. And if that same man has to downsize because he can no longer even afford his own standard of living, it's considered not suitable for the children. Even though he has a place and a roof over their head, mom is going to complain that the kids don't have their own bedroom, as if it has nothing to do with the amount of child support that he's paying. And the absolute best part about this is that these dads are devastated and that they will spend their entire life savings fighting a battle that they shouldn't have to fight, while mom is sitting on the internet playing victim, claiming that she's an independent, badass bitch while she's getting welfare, government assistance, living off his supplemental income by child support, getting money from her parents while maintaining a minimum wage job. So who's the real deadbeat if you're the one draining your ex-partner so dry that they can't even maintain their own standard of living for your children? And who's the real deadbeat if your only goal is to obsess about how you can take down the other parent or the father of your children or child? Okay.
Shots fired!
Bye.
Let's talk. Hey, shout out to this woman. Bringing up some solid points here, man. Bringing up some real solid points. Who is more of a deadbeat? Right? I feel like it is the mother in that scenario specifically. I'm not saying all moms are. You know, my mom's a single mom growing up. My mom is definitely not a deadbeat, but if better choices would have been made, I probably would have had a dad around. But that's why they say the most important decision you'll ever make is the person that you choose for your life partner, or your wife or your husband. The person that you choose to marry is a very big important decision. So don't take it with a grain of salt. Take your time. People try to rush into marriage all the time thinking it's going to fix things. No, once the relationship is fixed, reward yourself with marriage. You have people get that so mixed up.
friend John just posted a video, and it was not just posted. He posted a video a couple whiles back talking about how men can get DNA tests off of Amazon to test their children. They don't even have to tell the baby mom type shit. And he mentioned that in the comments there was reactions from women. Most of the reactions I saw was, why would you go and do that shit? He don't trust me type shit. And the other ones weren't really rational arguments. They were just kind of hooping and hollering in the comments. I've said this a million times over the course of my social media platforms that I believe that DNA tests should be mandatory at the time of birth. Because if it's mandatory, then the woman's feelings don't get hurt about man don't trust me, but then the man gets the 100% security of knowing that the person that he is about to be financially responsible for actually belongs to his genetic pool. You feel what I'm saying? And I caught a fuck ton of backlash on that one. But I think the bigger thing that people are escaping to remember here, if you are one of those women in the comments hollering about somebody DNA testing your kid, that gives me the belief that you are hiding something. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the truth, because if you take it to the fact that you're not hiding anything, but you're like, well, he doesn't trust me, put it this way. If the roles were reversed and the man was the one producing the child, right? And you guys, could be the mom, maybe not be the mom, you would want that 100% certainty. It's not that far-fetched of an idea. Anywho, as I said...
Well, the reason that women hate this is because it's accountability. And we all know women are allergic to that.
That I will stand 10 toes down on it. At the time of birth, it should be required. DNA testing, paternity testing should be required at the time of birth. Solves a lot of problems down the line. Have a day.
What's crazy to me is, people give flack for that. Like, are you kidding me? People are getting flack for saying something that's like so logical and, I don't know, just rooted in the truth of what actually it is. Like, this is so wild to me that people get mad and angry about this stuff.
Tests should be mandatory for every child born, regardless of marital status. Well,
Yeah.
this is a hard one. So, fundamentally, I agree with this. And we all know the big study that just came out. It all talked about how, of the men who questioned their paternity, like 75% of them were raising kids that, like, were not theirs. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that anybody who is put into a position of child support, this should be a mandatory thing. The only part that I just struggle with is I really don't want the gov to have, I gotta put my shoes on. I really don't want the gov to have basically an entire list, a full database of everybody's DNA, especially my children's. It's the only thing I struggle with. But I think if you are going to be...
Why, dude, I don't know. Maybe I'm not into conspiracy theories that much, but I've thought about this. People are like, I don't want people to have my DNA. They cannot have my DNA. I mean, what are they going to do with it, dude? Let's say they do plant some evidence at a place, at a scene of a crime. There's so many other things that you can do to prove your innocence. If you have your cell phone on you, were you in that area? You can triangulate your location. You can have an alibi with somebody that you're with. Like, I've never really understood this. Like, why do you... And maybe it's because I think I'm not important. I really don't think I'm important. I'm just one other person. There's 7 billion of us. Like, why? And I don't have kids, so maybe my philosophy will change on this, but as of right now, it hasn't. Like, why do you think you're so important that your DNA matters? You think they're just keeping it in a database and they're just going to take your DNA one day and just plant it on, well, we found it on a sock and now you're going to jail. Maybe I'm not thinking about this enough, but to me, I've always been like, why are people worried about the government have your DNA? The government has everything. The DNA is just another thing. They know where you live. They know your number. You've got a government-issued ID with your face on it. You've got paperwork with your name all over it. They got your social. They got your email. They got everything. They know everything about you. And here's the thing. If the government wants to know something about you, they're going to figure it out. Yes, sir. They're going to figure it out. Very strong entity there, the government. They're going to figure out what they want. Just so I don't want them to have my DNA. They got your address. They know your eye color. They know how tall you are. They know where you live. They can hack your Wi-Fi. They can do whatever they want, but you're worried about them having your DNA. It's just so wild to me. It's like, honey, you got social media. You're putting your business out there. If you're so worried about privacy, then why are you posting on social media? I don't know. Educate me, chat. Educate me in the comments. Am I way off base, or do you guys agree with me? Like, I honestly want to know.
Be court ordered to pay money. Men should have that option. Now, should it be forced? Should it be optional? Ooh, there's a lot of slippery slopes when it comes to privacy and your individual liberty and your children's privacy. But fundamentally, I do agree. There has got to be some kind of proof if you are going to indebt a man for 18 years, potentially more, because a lot of these child support orders go far into college years, depending on if they're full-time students and all that kind of stuff.
That's crazy.
So fundamentally, yes, I agree. But there's some of the details that I'm just struggling with a little bit.
DNA test.
Yeah, I want to know why she's struggling with it. What about it is giving you such a struggle? Is it the fact that you think somebody's going to, copy your DNA and make a carbon copy clone of you? Like, what is it exactly? What is it exactly that you're so tripped out about? Like, I don't know. Like I said, educate me in the comments, because I honestly don't get it. Honestly don't get it. I think it's a little far-fetched. Ain't that right, Loki? I've fallen at work and been injured. Oh, wait. I should call my lawyer.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan.
Hey, John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. It's Levi Nichs of YouTube. Can I get some cash, please?
Morgan & 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 Morgan.
Did you know that your injury could be worth millions of dollars? Morgan & Morgan is the largest injury law firm in America, and they've recovered over $20 billion for their clients. $20 billion? That's a lot of cash. The insurance companies tried to lowball me, but Morgan & Morgan was able to take my pain and suffering and turn it into cold, hard cash. It's almost a good thing I was injured. But wait. How much is Morgan & Morgan gonna cost me? You never owe them legal fees unless they're successful. So it's completely free unless you win? Yeah. Hiring a lawyer, That sounds like really difficult. It's actually super easy. You can just go to their website, and in a couple clicks, you can find out if you have a case. And you can literally do it from your smartphone. And remember, there is only one Morgan & Morgan. Wait, but it's two names though. How is it? Give me the script. Oh, both their last names. Okay, I get it. Okay, roll it. You can start your claim today by going to forthepeople.com/Levi, found in the description below. So if you're injured, you can trust Morgan & Morgan. Y'all know what time it is. Can we get some freeze in the chat, poor flavor? Loki. Free? He's like, how dare you make me get up? It's like, put it in front of my gullet, sir. I don't want to have to move. I do not want to have to move. But he loves these, dude. Went on a run this morning. He's not having it. He's like, dude, I'm so tired. Because it's hot, dude. It's hot out in Texas. Even in the morning, it's like 75 degrees. And then by the time it hits 9 a.m., 80. And then 10 a.m., like 95 degrees. It's like, woof. Supposed to get rain again today. It's like, can we just stop with the rain? Can we please stop with the rain? I'm sick of it.
Paternity test.
Back, turbo.
Would you be offended if he asked you for a paternity test?
I would say yes, because it shows that he doesn't trust me. Because I feel like at that stage in marriage, it's like, if you don't trust me, then you shouldn't be with me.
Yeah, I'd be offended. And I think it would break something for sure. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but...
Bro, it's so funny to me because Cass and I are pregnant right now, and I told her I want a paternity test. She's like, cool, go for it. She wasn't offended at all. She's like, I think you have every right to know.
I think that would mean there are other issues, like there's something to talk about. But yeah,
so
I'd
would you
be
refuse
offended.
the paternity test?
No, I said I'm not sure I would refuse it, but I think it would break something because the trust is...
Would you refuse it?
I would do it.
You would do it?
Show proof.
But it would destroy your trust, right?
Yes.
Okay. Would you do a paternity test?
I would, but I would be upset that he doesn't trust me.
You'd be upset?
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, I'd do it.
Would you be upset at all?
Honestly, think about it, not really.
Based. Dude, this just proves that women are children. They grow old. They never grow up. They're like, yeah, it would upset me. He doesn't trust me. He can trust you. I trust Cass, but I still want a paternity test. I want to know.
Just because at that stage, I know, like, if I know my partner well and he's like a little bit anxious as a person, I'm just like, okay, you know what? Just to give you peace of mind, here, we'll do it. And
great point that she brings up there, the anxiety, the anxiousness, right? Because if it was flipped, and if it was something as simple as swabbing the cheek of you and a baby, and it made a woman feel better, I bet they'd be hooping and hollering from the rooftops. Yes, queen, do it. If it eases your anxiety. It seems like anxiety is a foreign concept for men. I heard this the other day in chat. Let me know what you guys think about this. I heard anxiety is fear of the future, and depression is regret of the past. You guys ever heard of that? Cass is, Cass and I are going through this pregnancy right now, and every once in a while we'll get anxious, we'll have anxiety. But in college, I learned to turn my nervousness and my anxiety and my anxiousness into confidence. Because I always thought about it this way. If you have anxiety about something or you're anxious about something, not all the time, but sometimes, it's because you're looking forward to something being good. You're looking forward to a good or positive outcome. If you're looking to a positive outcome, that means that you're anxious about something that's good. It's a good thing. So that's why I always took my anxiousness, because I played a lot of music. I had to play recitals, play in front of people, and playing in front of people, playing a musical instrument in front of people, especially like 50, 100 people, it's kind of like public speaking. You have a little bit of nervousness, you're a little anxious because you want to do well. You don't want to look like an idiot. And so I learned in college that I could take that anxiety, I could take that anxiousness and turn it into something positive. Hey, look, the reason I'm anxious is because I want to do well. I want to look good. I want to give people a good experience. I want people to be entertained. Think about it that way. Next time you're anxious about something. But do you guys agree? Anxiety is fear of the future, and depression is regret of the past. Do you guys agree with that? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments.
And then if you know, he gets his answer and he's like, oh, thank the Lord.
She was literally asked a simple question.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very basic question, but you can just see in live time right there that women think so emotionally. They don't think very logically, because logically this makes so much sense. A man jailed for calling out baby mama's lies.
Farrelly, who went viral for his insane paternity fraud story
recently,
was just arrested and made to take down all of his videos. It's a lot, but I'll give you the quick breakdown. So Brett is a young man who ends up getting approached by an older woman named Maria, who asks him to be her sperm donor. She convinces him with paperwork and everything that it's all on the up and up. He's not going to be legally responsible for this child. Despite this arrangement and them only having a one-night stand to complete this arrangement, Maria ends up finding Brett's mom and grandma and tells them that she's pregnant with Brett's child and convinces them that he should be involved with the pregnancy. His mom and grandma now want to be a part of the baby's life, so they convince Brett that he should be too. So he agrees to start paying child support. But after a little over a year, having paid now $55,000 to this woman for this baby, he ends up taking a paternity test and finds out the baby isn't even his. Not only that, but Brett finds out that Maria likely knew who the real father was this entire time, but refused to disclose it because the real father was married to another woman at the time. Oops. So Brett goes to court for paternity fraud, asking for his name to be taken off the birth certificate, child support to end, and to be paid back for all the child support he did pay. In a kind of surprising victory, the courts actually do agree to end Brett's parental and child support obligations, but they don't make Maria pay him back, and I'm pretty sure his name is still on the birth certificate. The judge also assigns a mutual restraining order for the both of them, meaning that neither of them can ever talk about this case again, basically a gag order. But according to Brett, Maria broke this order almost immediately by contacting his family, telling them that he's a deadbeat who abandoned his child. So Brett decides that he too is going to defy the order and clear his name, and that's when he made a multi-part series detailing all the lies, how he got played, and also his own mistakes along the way to help educate other men. I actually remember one interview where Brett was asked what he would tell his younger self if he could, and he said that if he had ever heard a story even remotely similar to what he went through, he would have never been in that situation. So his story does have the ability to prevent this from happening. But obviously the courts don't want the story out there. Why? It just makes you wonder, especially when you consider that in other countries like France, it's actually illegal for men to perform paternity tests on their kids without the mother's permission because, in their words, it would destabilize the community. And honestly, this whole concept that you have to prove paternity fraud is also crazy to me because it's like, did she say the kid was his? Did the DNA test say that it isn't? Seems to me that there was pretty clear deception involved. But we do have to learn from this, and honestly, this is why a lot of guys are very hesitant to sign anything until they get that DNA test. This is also why I think it's really important for women to stop taking DNA tests so personally and making it this big relationship-ending deal. You should want to be able to offer your man that reassurance, and you should also want that reassurance yourself. After all, hospital switch-ups do happen to women too. They can shut him up, but they can't shut us all up, and men need to hear this stuff. Men deserve to know if their kid is theirs or not without being shamed for wanting to know that.
Here's the thing.
Wow, you know, that's crazy. Shout out to this young woman with the big blue eyes. You know what's so wild to me is that it seems like men created a lot of the structure behind the judicial system and the child support system and paternity court and family courts and things like that. But yet men are at such a disadvantage. Such a disadvantage. It's just weird to me that men have to fight so hard uphill to get just a sense of equality or a sense of justice, just a little speckle of it. But women get it all the time. You forge somebody else's name on a birth certificate, say it is his baby when it's not his. Like, this is wild to me. The fact that this happens so much, and the fact that we're not changing anything. Nothing's being done about it. Like, what's the big why? Like, why? Why aren't things being changed? We've seen this stuff happen constantly. I've been doing this channel for almost 2 years now. I've been reacting to paternity fraud for 2 years, and it's been happening well before this. I'm sure we have guys in the comments right now that this might have happened to you guys. You know, like, why haven't things been changed? What's holding the courts back from changing this stuff and making it mandatory at birth? Like, what's going on with? There's so many other rules and regulations behind a baby. Why don't we just implement it? This is real easy. You stick a little swab in the mouth, boom, done. It's not that it's difficult. It's not that it's hard. You know what I mean? This stuff is easy. I just don't get why we haven't implemented this. You know what I'm saying? Looks like, why hasn't this been implemented yet? So I got a new soundboard. I got the Stream Deck XL. It's absolutely massive. There's like 30 buttons, or I don't even, well, actually 4, 8, 12, 16, 24. Yeah, there's a lot. There's like 30 something buttons on this thing, I think. And so I'm slowly but surely getting used to it. So if you see me miss things or I don't switch up scenes very well, just know that I'm learning, okay? I'm learning. So bear with me. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Loki, did you have a good time? Good. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next one, man. Peace.